Pink Poodle Crafts, join the Poodle Pack. It's time to get creative and make you laugh. Make your own art today. Pink Poodle Crafts is the way.
What a good boy. Hey crafty family, it's me. And today we are going to make some cute little Christmassy or winter themed little friends. We're going to make some little friends. Using our punches, we are going to make them. This one here is a combination of two different videos that I saw, and in my brain I can't remember who it was. There are so many videos showing how to do like a little punch Santa, but because I didn't have all the punches I needed for one or the other, I kind of melded a couple together and came up with this guy. And then this one I came up with by myself, which I'm sure there's 1,000 snowmen people, punch people out there. I just came up with this one. Last year, I think it was last year or the year before, you can look up on my channel, I made really cute rosette snowmen, which were adorable. And if I can remember, I'll put a link down below so you can check out that video, or in an iCard or something. I'll put a video where you can see it. To the rosette snowmen, because they were adorable and so cute. So okay, let's start out with the snowman while we're at it. What I used for this is, now obviously if you don't have these exact punches, you can improvise if you have a little bit smaller ones. I'm sure you can find a way to improvise this, but unfortunately I don't know. I mean, without drawing out a circle and cutting it, you know, you kind of need something that's going to help you. Obviously, you can draw like a trace around something and cut it out. If you don't have punches, you could do that. But anyway, you need white cardstock. This is a 2-inch circle punch. And this is a 1 3/4 inch circle punch. So I'm going to punch out the 2-inch in white. I'm going to punch out the 1 3/4 in white. And we're going to glue them together because that is the head and the body of our snowman. So you just glue that together. Now something you can do, let's see if I have the ability to do that. Let's see, I need to find we can try this. If you wanted to, hold on, sorry, I'm trying to find something to ink it with. Let's try this. You might be able to, if you have like a light blue or like a blue-gray color, you can kind of like go around the edges, which I don't even know, has this got any color in it? These are like cheapy old, oh yeah it does. But you can go around and kind of add a little color to your snowman bodies so that they look a little bit more authentically snowy. I didn't do it on the other ones, but I should have, and I thought of it after I did it. I was like, oh, I should have done that, blah, 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 but didn't. Oh, oddly, this ink has sparkle to it. I don't know if it's supposed to or if some sparkle fell on it. But that kind of works out, doesn't it? It's kind of weird. I don't know where I got this ink. These little ink pads, I've had them for so long. But anywho, so we did that. And that gives it a cute little, you see the sparkle in it? It's very weird. I will zoom in a little because I realize I am quite zoomed out. And okay, so we got our 2 circles. Now for the hat on this one, I used a square punch. And where did it go? Oh, right in front of me. This one I had gotten at the Creative Reuse a while ago. It's a Recollection square. It's like a 1-inch square. So that I did out of black. Out of black paper. Black cardstock. And then to make the little brim of the hat, since I didn't really have, like, I seen some people do little hats for like the Santa Claus and stuff, like even the Santa Claus, they used what's called a window punch, a word window punch, which I don't have. But what I found works really well is if you have like, this is 1 3/4 scallop punch, which is what we're going to use also for the Santa Claus, I believe. And punch this out in black. What you can do is, if you're careful about it, you can get yourself, you can cut it and then cut one of the little scallops out all the way across them, you know, and then just fidget with it a little bit. It's going to be a little big for this hat, I think, so I need to kind of adjust it. So you kind of got to finagle, especially if you're like me and you don't have, like, I'm not a big, you know, I don't have every punch in the world to do these things. So sometimes you got to kind of figure things out without the punches, you know, the ones you don't have. So is that big enough? Probably too small. It's going to have to do, isn't it? It's a little smaller than I'd like it. Maybe I'll punch another one. I think I went a little too far in my trimming. That's a good thing. It's only paper, so I'll live. See, this is a little too big. Let's see. There we go. Much better. Okay. Sometimes it's a little trial and error. So also what I did was I used washi tape to decorate the hat. And how I did that is I picked whatever pattern I wanted to use for the hat. Luckily, I have this Santa Claus belt, and I used that last to put this little, what looks like a hat belt, hat loop, hat thing, whatever it is. So, like for instance, if I want to do like a pattern, let's see what other patterns I have. The green. Don't have a lot of like patterning. Maybe I have another pattern because I want her to be a girl anyway. So let's see if I have like can make like a pink hat. It doesn't have to be. Here we go. We can make her a pink hat. And I'll still put the red loop on it, or the black. Well, it's actually more black and white, so I'll put that on it anyway. It don't matter. So what you want to do is cut out some strips of washi, because this washi is like the cheapy washi, so it doesn't stick very well. So I have to kind of put some glue on it to get it to stick. It's like the plasticky kind of washi tape. So if you put some glue stick on it, it'll stick. Otherwise, it's going to come off. And you put it on the hat. And then wrap it around. And do the same for the bottom piece. Tried to line it up a little better than I did the last time on the other hat. This time I'll just cut off the excess. That's too little to wrap around. There we go. And then we will do the same for this. And actually I'll just cover this with glue and then cut off the excess. But it's an easy way to dress up your punches of, you know, whatever you're making. And then you just take some glue and put it on the bottom of the hat. And there's the little hat. Now they don't fit on the head perfectly, obviously, so putting it straight kind of makes it look stupid. But if you put it off to the side, it doesn't look nearly as stupid. Just an observation, so, because it obviously my square should have been a little bigger, and the brim should have been a little bigger. But unfortunately, I didn't have a bigger scallop punch, I don't think. That could have, or a bigger square punch, I mean. But if you put it off to the side, then it looks more like it's supposed to be kind of smaller. You know what I mean? That's how you can get away with that. Now, obviously, if you have a bigger square punch, or, well, actually, you don't even need a square punch. Anybody can make a square. Really, that was a stupid thing to say, because I don't need a square punch to make a square, but I don't know why. I mean, I could have just cut a square out of here that was bigger. So, yeah, you can make a bigger square if you want. I don't know. I think it's cute with the small hat anyway. It's adorkable. And then this one here, I took and cut it so that I had at least one good belt loop. Now, this is Dollar Tree washi. Most of this Christmas holiday washi is Dollar Tree washi. And so I will cut that off. And now I just cut off all the red basically and just be left with the buckle and the black strip. So you're basically fussy cutting washi tape, which is bizarre. Who does that? Nobody. Only me. But it works, and it's a cute little element. When I seen that I had that, I was like, hey, that'll look good. It's a little hard to cut washi tape because washi tape is persnickety. It can be a pain in the butt. But it'll work. These make cute embellishments for like cards and all kinds of stuff. like your little journals that you're making, your cards, your embellishments for your, like the waterfall journals that we're making. Now I'm going to put glue on the back side of this because, again, this cheap washi does not like to stick very well. And then I'm going to put the loop so that it goes around. Oh, how cute is that? How cute is that? How stinking cute. But again, you don't even need washi tape to do that. You could just cut a strip of black paper and make yourself a little square, and then a square of whatever color, white, silver, whatever, and then put a tinier square of black in the center. Do you see what I mean? Like, you don't need this washi to do that at all. Like, I can make, here, I'll even show you. I'll show you what I mean. You could take black. Now, if you use a cutter, it'll be straighter, but I'm just going to do like this. Like that. Right? Now, for the buckle, whatever color you want, maybe you want it to match, maybe you want it to be a contrast. So you could take like a totally different color. Like if you want a red buckle, you would take a square out of red, right? And then I would take another little square of black. That would be about the same width of the, actually it's probably best if you cut it off of this, since you're not going to need that long thing. But best if you cut it off of the exact strip that you cut initially, so that it's the same width, so it doesn't look funny. And make it more square. And then if you stick that in the center with a little glue, so it looks like you have a red buckle. I mean, if you did it out, you could do it out of like glitter paper, make it all glittery. You could do it out of like gray to make it look like metal. And then you just glue this onto here. That was probably quicker than, yeah, that was quicker. That was quicker than me sitting there cutting out the washi tape, literally. And there you go. Look how adorable that buckle is. So that could have been here. Maybe it was a little bigger than I needed it, but, and then you can either cut off this side, and voila, you've got your buckle. See what I mean? Well, I'll save that because I might use it for something else. So yeah, so you don't need the washi tape. You can make a buckle. A lot of this stuff you can hand make. You know, you could take washi tape and there's the head. You can trace it, cut it out. For the body, here's a medicine bottle. Yep, there's your body. You see what I mean? Like, you could find things. That's how fast I was able to find two circles. That one was smaller than the other, because this one's a little bit smaller than this. So that makes a perfect head and body. So you don't need punches. That's my point, because I know a lot of people don't have punches. So I understand, you know, that it's not always easy. So as far as the eyes and the buttons on the thing, the buttons on the body, I'm going to make them to match the hat. I didn't do that in this one, but I'm going to show you how I did that. So first of all, black paper. So of course, all I did was use a standard dollar store punch, okay, and cut out 2 circles, which conveniently are in this little pouch there. There's my eyes, and for my little buttons going down, I cut a piece of this, piece of black, took a piece of washi, and glued it on, of course, because I don't trust this washi tape, and you should never trust washi tape, because I've never known a washi tape that held up for any amount of time. Especially when I see people like put things in journals and like actually use it to like put papers in or strengthen something like in a journal or something. No. You need to make sure you're putting some glue on that because it ain't gonna work. So once you do that, as long as you punch it this way, it'll work best. Like make sure that the little puncher thing is going through the paper part first, like that. I don't know if you can see. Like that part is going through, and then you can punch out 1, 2, 3 buttons. And here they are. And so there's your buttons that match the hat. You put your little eyes on. Now I'm not going to put the buttons down the center until I put the scarf on. And we still have the nose and the mouth to do. Let's start with the nose. So you're going to take a piece of orange cardstock. I just cut like a little rectangle out of it. And all I did was start at one end and make like a wavy, kind of imperfect, get tapered at the end little thingamabobber. And I did the same thing here. I kind of came in and made it imperfect and kind of like rounded this a little bit so that it wasn't perfectly triangular, if that makes sense. You see how that, I don't know if it'll focus, but hopefully it will. All right, you see how that's not perfectly triangle? Come on, dude, focus. There we go. So that's what you want. And you don't want to put it on like this. I mean, I guess you could. I mean, if you don't want to put a mouth on, I guess you could do that. But if you put it this way, it looks like it's kind of coming from between his eyes. So mine's awfully long. I'm going to shorten it because I made this one a little big. So I'm actually going to shorten this a little bit. You can kind of adjust it as you need to. That's good. And then you just put some glue on it and glue it down. If you really, don't want to do that, you can just make a triangle. But if you make it coming at an angle, it kind of, when you're looking at it, it actually looks like it looks more realistic. Okay, now the mouth. Now I cheated with the mouth because, do I have it up here? No. Did I leave it down here? Yes, I did. Because I have a tiny little lips punch, but if you have a tiny little heart, which you're more likely to maybe have, you can use the heart punch too. But I used the lips. I'll show you the heart as well. But I punched out, and the smaller the lip, this thing's a pain. The smaller, that's not right, is it? No, I messed that up. Anyway, as I was trying to say, the smaller the heart punch or the lip, well, not, yeah, obviously the smaller the better. But you can just use like a heart. See how cute that is? As the lip, if you have a small heart. But I have a lip, so I'm just going to use that. Well, maybe I'll use the heart. I kind of like the heart. The heart's cute. So you can do that. If you don't have a tiny heart punch, I'm sure you can make a heart and cut it out. cute. My goodness, so cute. Now, I used silver rickrack for the scarf, and I'm going to show you how I did that with rickrack. You can use any color you want. You can use washi tape and make a scarf. You don't have to use rickrack. I should probably show you how to do it with washi tape because that might be a better... I'm going to do this real quick by cutting out the top circle again, so I can use it as a reference. Is that what I used for the top one? No. This one. Duh. Okay. Yeah. So I can use this as a reference piece, and you could do this before you put it together if you don't want to make another circle. Why is my washi tape being a poop? She's got to have a matching washi tape scarf, right, to her hat. So I'm going to put it like that. Actually, I'm going to put it like that. And I'm going to put it up against here a minute. We're going to try this together and see if we can figure it out. Like so. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to round off. I don't even know what I just did, so I apologize if that made no sense because it didn't make a lot of sense to me as I did it. I just winged it, and I'm kind of making sort of a scarf. I put it around this so I can cut it because obviously these were stuck together, so it would have been too hard to do. I'll have to pull this back off and tape and glue it, but like so. Like that. There we go. I think I'm just going to knock this down just a little. And then take this off back here. There. You just got to finagle, get creative. I just used washi tape to kind of shape it. It's easier if you do it initially when it's not connected. But then I'm going to glue this down real quick because I got to use glue. Even though it seems like it's going to stick, I guarantee you it'll eventually just come right off. And then we'll make the little flaps, the little pieces of the scarf that, like, come on, quit folding over on it yourself. Like, that come off, like, yeah, you know what I mean. And as long as it looks like a semblance of a scarf, you know, that's all that matters. It doesn't have to be perfect. But I think that looks like a wrapped scarf, you know. I don't think it looks bad. And then the little things, that little tails. Take another piece of washi. And all I'm going to do is, I'll cut it a little bit that way. I'm going to do that. Round that off. Round these off. Actually, I'll make one shorter than the other. And then we're just going to glue them on. We're going to make them come off of here like that. There you go. See that? How easy peasy is that? Get a little creative with your washi tape and you can make anything. So that's how we decorated her little scarf. Matches her hat. So fancy. Now we're going to put the buttons on because we already have the scarf on so we know where it falls. So then she's got matching buttons. She's a very stylish snowman, snow woman. You can use rhinestones for the eyes, for the buttons. You know, get creative and you can use anything you want. You can use a sequin. But, I mean, come on. She's adorable. So, that's how you make a little Mrs. Snowman for my Mr. Snowman. Cutie patooties. So, I hope you will give it a try. Because this would be so cute on the front of a card, like a Mr. and Mrs. Snowman on the front of a card together. How cute would that be on the front of a card? So, if you give this a try, please put pictures in the group. Now, we're going to make our Santa Claus. Santa Claus. In order to make him, we don't need washi. In order to make him, you're going to need this. Is this the scallop punch? I believe it is. Yeah, I think so. This is a 1 3/4 scallop in white. You're going to need 3 of these in white. 1, 2, come on, stop being a jackass. 3. You're going to need a 1 1/4 inch circle for the face in cream. So let's get that started. First things first, your face goes into the center. So if you have different size scallops, obviously you would use a different size circle that would fit pretty well inside of your little scallop, if that makes sense. So I'm going to use a glue stick to stick down my face. Now there is something on here that we don't have punches for, and I will show you how to do that, which will be fine. So there's our little face. Then you're going to, let me make sure the glue is cleaned up. Then you're going to work on the beard. And what I did was on this particular, all this, see, like, unless you have this exact scallop by EK Success, I think it is, like, yours might be different. So you're just going to cut, I think I cut like half of the scallop. I cut it in half. So, like, I just basically cut it in half. And, or wait, I used one of the full circles first. Oops. I did this first. I put, yeah, because I wrote on the back of it, but Anyway, I used, actually no, I cut a little bit off of this to use, how many did I, 1, 2, 3, 4. I cut 4 of the scallops off of this one because I didn't need the whole thing to show. So you're going to put it underneath of this one. And you don't have to cut that off. I just didn't want to waste another scallop because I needed 2 pieces. Because you're like building layers. If you notice, the Santa has like layers to his beard. And I'm going to show you how I did that. But I took 1 scallop and cut off 4 of the bumps on the top of it. Now I'm going to glue it on the back of this one. So you're just going to take it and glue it like so. That's about right. Then you've got this one, which I don't think I used maybe that much of it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I'm going to cut off like that so that I have 6 of the lumps. Lovely lady lumps. And that's going to be like right there. You're just going to kind of line it up. I don't know if you can see it. Line it up on top of that one. It'll make more sense when you're doing it, I promise. You'll be like, oh, I get it. If you're just, just think of building up a beard. It's got a little, you're trying to make it a little dimensional, so it'll make more sense when you start to make it. I promise. Okay, and then we have this little one that we pulled off of the first circle here. 4 of the lovely lady lumps. And that's going to go above on there. And I go up a little bit just to kind of start. I go a little above the line on that one. Okay, and then you just line it up. Now, to make the mustache, you need a heart punch. Or you can just make it, you could really wing it out of this, like what's remaining here if you wanted to. And that's the thing. One of the videos I saw made it out of a heart punch. Made the mustache out of a heart punch, but they made the rest of the Santa Claus out of something else. The other video I watched made the mustache out of this, but they were using a bigger scallop with bigger scallops, and I didn't have that. So I figured that the heart one works best for me anyway. So that's why I said, like, I have several different videos, like, so you take the heart, as long as it's fairly small, and you cut off the hump of the heart. Let me just even mine up because they're a little crooked. Okay. And now before you put it down, you're going to punch with a regular punch like we did before. Where'd it go? There it is. Jesus, I'm having issues. You're going to punch 2 red. Is that both the reds? Yeah. Now I didn't do that. I did one cream colored and then I painted it kind of pink to make a mouth, but I think it would be easier unless you have pink paper lying around, which I probably do, obviously, but I'm just going to do it out of red this time. And what you're going to do is glue, put a little glue on one and put it up here. And see, now I did it where the mustache was covering the nose, but this time I'm going to do it different, where I'm going to put the red one on the right side out and the pink one on the back, or the red one for the mouth, I mean. Because I think I'm going to like that better. Of course, mine has to have like this little paper sticking off of it. So, like so. Like so. Now the first one I did, why does that seem to keep pulling to the side? Yeah. The first one I did, if you notice, the nose is behind, and so is the little mouthpiece is behind the mustache. And I realized afterwards I didn't like that as much, but that's how the lady did it on hers. But I kind of like this. So then you just put it, because how many mustaches go halfway over your nose? None. So I'm going to do that and put it on there and glue it to the get back here. Stop it. Stop being difficult. And you're just going to line that up. There we go. Fingers are dirty. Okay, so your face will look like this. I know it doesn't focus very well, but you get the drift, right? So now we're going to do the hat. And we're going to punch 2 little circles out of the white for the eyes. So we're just going to go boink, boink, and those will be the eyes. And then the hat, because I didn't have a punch for the hat, I made myself a little triangle template that fits. So when you're doing the first one, make yourself a little triangle template that'll fit on the head of your Santa. And use the red to trace it and cut it out, which is what is the best way to do that. And then, of course, there's always got to be something stuck to my damn scissors. Get off me. Okay. And I just basically freehanded this triangle, but I keep the little template so that I don't have to keep going back and trying to make it perfect, because that takes the guesswork out of me, although this is a little wonky. So that'll be his hat. But then we still need the little piece, just like we did before on the snowman hat, we're going to do with the Santa hat. So we're going to cut another scallop circle, and I may have to shorten my hat a little bit because, oh, did I use this though? Did I? Yeah, I did. Okay, I may just have to shorten my shorten my little hat. Just cut up one side, that'll shorten it. I might have cut it a little too, I might have cut it a little too big. And then you just take the middle scallop out and just kind of adjust it as needed. Round any harsh corners. And hopefully it'll fit. It's a little bit more off. And cut off some of it if it'll help you from getting it to stick out, because you're not going to see that little corner anyway. Just adjust things as needed. That's how it works. And there we go. There's our little hat. There's all these little black things all over everything I do. Okay. And then before you put your hat on, because you want the eyes, you want it to look like the eyes are kind of being covered up by the hat a little bit. You know what I mean? See how the eyes are like coming out from under the hat a little bit? This one I got dirty because this glue is so dang sticky that if you get any of it on your hands and touch anything, you're going to make whatever you're touching dirty. Frustrating. So you're going to constantly wash your hands because it's just so sticky. So now I'm going to put his little eyes on, and I'm going to kind of figure out where I want the hat to be so that I can put his eyes in the right spot. So that when I put his hat on, it covers his eyes a little. I might move his eyes down just a tad. There we go. And then we'll put the hat on. And then for this, I used another circle punch, but again, you can use a pom-pom, which would be better. And I think I have pom-poms, but I couldn't find them quick enough, so I didn't bother. But if you use a pom-pom, that would actually be cuter, like a little white pom-pom. Where's my other punch at? What did I do? Oh, it's right here. But I have this little punch. I think it's like, here, let me punch it out and I'll be able to tell you. I'll just punch it out of this. Oh, I think it's 3/4 of an inch. Yeah, 3/4 of an inch. And then just put it on his hat. You don't want it at the very top because his hat will look kind of silly. Because this one I made kind of long. So I put it down further. But you can make yours shorter and make it look more normal than mine. And then the final touch is to draw in his little eyeballs. And you can use a little pen for that. And his little pupils. And voila, you got your Santa Claus. Santa Claus and our little snow woman. How cute are they? So cute. I love it. And obviously you can get fancy. You can put, a pretty red candy cane look for the hat. You could do the same thing you did like for this hat. Oh, see what I mean? Like, look. Oh, I am like a menace with white paper. I'm just made a mess of my... All right, that Santa's going in the garbage. Anyway, look at my Santa. I made a mess out of him. Oh, well. I will make another one. This is what I mean. If your hands are dirty, because we're dealing with a lot of white cardstock, make sure you keep your hands clean or you're going to get pissed when you ruin your Santa like I just did. Such is life. That's my life. Anyway, so make sure your hands are clean. Make sure you don't smudge your eyes before they're dry, which is what I did. Anyway, that's it. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you give it a try. If you do, the link to our Facebook group is below in the description box. I will also put links below to where you can get some punches that I use to make these things, so that you too can make some of these things. So I will put some links to some punches you can get and some cardstock and such and so forth. So I hope you'll give this a try and do me a favor and give me a thumbs up. I appreciate it. If you're not subscribed, please hit that subscribe button. I would appreciate it. If you're already subscribed, make sure you hit the bell notification next to the subscribe button so that you know when when my videos are going to be, and I do live streams as well. And if you want to see one of my live streams, which are a load of fun, make sure you check me in my group. I keep it pretty updated of when the live streams will be, but they're twice a week on Friday nights and on Monday nights, and sometimes they're on Saturday nights too. So Monday nights we do mixed media mashup where I use prompt cards and I pull prompt cards and you guys play along in the chat and we have a good time. And on Friday we do a pajama party where we just it's at 10 o'clock at night. It's late after you put the kids to bed, have a glass of wine, come hang out, and we just chill and chat, and I work on various crafts and stuff, whether it's working in a journal or working on making a journal or just random things. So definitely come check us out. There's a lot of great ladies in these groups who are a lot of fun to hang out with, and you meet a lot of really nice people in the live streams. And I also have a Patreon. So if you want to support my channel, which is very appreciated, you can go to the link in the description to my Patreon, and you could check out there how you can support my channel and in return get things like live stream classes that are just for my Patreon members, that are actual workshops, actual classes where you learn something, or you can get like stuff sent to you in the mail. Just, you can pick any level you want to donate, and you'll get stuff in return for it. So I appreciate that if you'll check that out. I think that's it. So like I said, I'll leave the video link to where I made my snowman last year, the rosette snowman. And I'll also put links to where you can get things to make these punch people, punch snowman, punch Santa, punch them. But anyway, have a good rest of your day. I will talk to you later. Have a good night. Make sure you do what you love and love what you do, and be nice to people. Bye.